Well, it's been about a week since I can get back to this project, work and things like that. And we had some heavy rain, so my sort of tarp roof thing worked, sort of. But I mean, there was some heavy rain, so there's a little bit, it wasn't perfect, but hopefully everything, everything's mostly protected. But in that time, I've had some visitors. You can see that. Maybe I'll get up a little closer. I don't want to get too close here because, yeah. So the wasps already started making a nest. So sorry, wasps. Thought that was supposed to come out more foamy. There we go. Ongoing battle, I suppose. I'm starting on the rafters. The rafters are simply 12-foot long 2x6s, and they go from there. So I made the first one, and I put it back up to make sure before I go ahead, because all I'm going to do is I'm going to trace out this pattern on 8 others. So I have 9 going across there every 2 feet, and then that's what goes across the building. My little bird's mouth here, and then there's another bird's mouth down there. The way I did it was I just simply laid the 2x6 up on top here. I had to drive a screw in it so it wouldn't slide off. And then I took a level and went like that and drew this line up here. And I did the same thing down there, but I also put it there too on the end. So I'd have a straight up and down cut here, and same thing down there. And then I just simply took like a square and made this part of the cut so it would be 3.5 inches long, so it fits perfectly neatly on top of a 2x4. And same thing down there. And now I've just put it back up here to make sure that it's going to fit up there nicely. I lose a little bit when I make that angle cut, so it's no longer 12 feet long. However, I am going to be putting on fascia board. I think that's the name of it, fascia board. It's another 2x6, goes across all the rafters. And then that kind of makes up for that difference in space down there. Plus I'm going to have the ridge cap which goes over this part of the roof, so that'll all be covered up anyway. So I 8 more of these cut in just that pattern, and then 2 more of these cut in this pattern without the bird's mouth, so they go on the outside of the building, and outriggers to attach that so that I get an overhang on both sides. Well, I was hoping for clear day. I don't have a clear day. It's not raining yet. It poured rain last night. So forecast said maybe later this afternoon we would have showers. And this is not the afternoon, this is morning. Well, I'm just going to have to play this one by ear. Checking both sides to make sure that it's flat on top of each other. And I'll so I gotta adjust that a little bit more. maybe there. There. I'll make my pencil marks. Now when I cut to the inside of just the very inside of that line, and just the very outside of these lines to make it line up. So if I cut on the right on it, well, if I cut right on it, actually, that kind of gives me the perfect cut for inside here and there. So that's what I end up doing. I did the first one already, and then I put it on top of the one I traced just to make sure. And it was basically right there. I've learned to placement of your saw right at the beginning is very important. Of course, the easiest way to do this, do it with a circular saw, and then finish with a jigsaw, and you get that nice cut. Perfect. Now that I have all my rafters made, I'm just going to quickly mark out where they need to go. The first one is the one on the very end, obviously. And then I'm doing 24 on center. So roughly there. 48, and this one's easy because this is where these two meet. Over there. And that one's obvious because it's the middle of those two 8-foot walls. And I'm going to start to bring up the rafters. Now they're all pre-cut. Put them where they need to go. So the first one goes right here on the end. That guy to the end. There. Now I'm going to be sort of toenailing these in with the air nailer. And I learned a trick, and it was on, it was from Sean James, My Self-Reliance. If you haven't checked out that channel before, I highly encourage it. He's way better at this than I am. He's been doing off-grid stuff for a while. He's a total pro, really knows his stuff, and his videos are really good. He really does explain a lot, and a lot of it is not him talking, but just doing stuff. It's but anyway, I do recommend if you haven't checked out Sean James' channel to look at that. Now, I mean, he's hardcore. He cut down the trees, stripped the bark, aged the logs, then built the cabin. Then he built the outdoor kitchen and sauna and bath, all this other stuff. And then he sold that property and started over and built a much bigger, better cabin. It's beautiful what he's got going. But he lives completely off grid, completely self-reliant. He's got a big following. I am none of those things. But I did learn from him this trick about when you're nailing in a board. I'm going to be toe nailing from the other side to start with. And this never occurred to me. Maybe it's obvious to everybody else. But when you do that, especially if you're doing this with an air nailer, then your board's going to want to move. Like if I'm nailing the other side, it's going to want to move. So I don't know why it never occurred to me before. I mean, I tried to do when I was toe nailing stuff in my other garage there. It didn't go as well, but basically all he does is he might have used a nail, but a screw or something just to hold it from moving. Don't know why I never thought about doing that. It's so simple. I got to be careful where I step here, obviously. It kind of went out a little far. There we go. Another tip I picked up somewhere was don't nail them all in the same angle. Nail them a little bit different, because then if one pulls, then the other one holds resistance against it. I don't know if it's actually going to matter, but it's not hard to do, just to turn a little bit. And I mean, I guess if you're building, really good quality stuff, um, you're going to use Simpson strong ties and all the other stuff. I'm doing none of those things. I'm doing this as quickly, as simply as possible. And I nailed in all the rafters in my other building. It's been perfectly fine. So that's not going to change. Wish my camera had a wider angle, but anyway, first half is done because it's the platform I've got. And they go down there, land on there. It actually worked out great. This took a lot less time than I thought it was going to take. Funny how when you're building stuff, you're dreading doing a particular task because you think, oh my God, it's going to take forever. And it doesn't. And then some of the things you're like, oh, that's nothing. But, and then, 2 days later, you're still dealing with some issue. Anyway, so I'll get the others up and then we'll go from there. Just a quick video update. I got the roof sheeting on. I didn't film it, fixing the rafters, and I had to modify my design. Originally, I was going to have a much bigger overhang, but it was going to be, I didn't think it was going to be structurally sound enough. So I took it off and just not going to do that now. I just doubled up on the end rafters. I got some fascia boards up and sheeting on the roof. Next thing is to put down the underlayment and then the roofing itself. It's getting late in the day. You can see the longer shadows now. So that's it for now, but I didn't film this for a few reasons. One being YouTube would probably take my video off the air. There's a lot of swearing. Um, Struggling to get sheets up on top of the roof and then getting them nailed in. That's one part. But the other bigger problem I had all day was these stupid deer flies. I don't know what it is. I don't have black flies. I don't have mosquitoes right now. What I've got is these deer flies. I'm editing my voice right now. There's one flying around me right at the moment, actually. I hate them more than any other pest. And they always seem to be, when I'm way up on top there and my hands are full and I'm balanced precariously on a ladder or some boards or something like that, and then they come. And anyway, so yeah, so that part was fun. But anyway, just to show you the inside now, starting to shape up, and you can see where the windows are going to go. And I got the sheet on. It's not waterproof, obviously, because I don't have any underlayment or roofing on, but that's for another day. That won't be so bad. The roof's pitch itself isn't so steep that I can't. I can climb up there fairly easily. That's how I nailed on the top sheet, so that was no problem. Anyway, so back at it here in a few days. I will get the roofing on, and then we fill in these gable ends and windows and doors, and that's going to be the shell. That's going to be the basic shell. Still got to do like some kind of soffit board on there and on the front, and obviously some trim pieces, things like that. But that, the basic building is all right. So far, I'm pleased with it. I had some assistance today, thankfully. She doesn't want me to show her on camera, but I did have to get some help to put some sheets up on the roof. So thank you to my wife. bit of an update. Been a while since I got back to this. In between time I had off and all the rain we had on what were the times off, I been a little while. So now we're at July 1st, and I am currently filling in the gable ends. I will show you up there, and then I'm working on this one here in the back. You can see up there. The roof is more or less done and on. There's going to be some, additional flashing or soffit, fascia, etc., that kind of stuff to happen. But you can see right there how it's worked out. I got a little bit more work to do up here in the front. It's interesting. This stuff is interesting because I put on the ridge cap and they were kind of more or less flat, and I thought I was going to have to bend them over and screw them in. I never did get the ladder up there to screw them in, and just in the heat they bent themselves over. So I'm still going to get up there and screw those in, and I still, like I say, I have a soffit, which is going to be basically a 2x4, and then I got to figure out how to either wrap or paint or whatever it is I'm doing on the exposed boards. So right now I am working on the other gable end. And basically I just need a couple of boards, verticals, to put up so that I have something to screw the board to. They're not structural up there. That's not actually holding any weight. So I just need a couple of these to spaced out the correct amount so that I can cut the siding triangles and screw them in. So what I do at this point, now that I measured across to where I need to put this board, and I've made a mark there, and that more or less in the center. So I'm notching out for the for this board so it can go around that. So I just want to make sure I'm where I need to be, right there. And all I'm going to do is take a So now I have cut what I need to. I have the angle of how I'm going to need to cut that. I'll just go ahead and make this notch. As I said, it's now July 1st. I started this little bay. But this has been on, weekends. Generally weekends. I usually don't get to it weekend nights because, to be quite honest with you, I'm tired at night, and it's early summer, so there's mosquitoes, and actually the mosquitoes haven't been bad this year. I'm not sure why that is. The mosquitoes and black flies, relatively speaking, have not been bad in our part of the world. But I'll tell you what has been bad is the friggin' deer flies. I don't know what the heck is going on, but they've been driving me nuts. So in order to get the right width of the notch here, I'll just take a scrap piece of wood and do that. That gives me that. Like that to be flat. Let's do it this way. It doesn't have to be, this one doesn't have to be perfect anyway. But, so, to cut this, take my circular and I make the the notch out part. And then I've already got my jigsaw set to the right angle. Got this part. A little bit left there from the circular. Won't be much. And there we are. Okay. Balance precariously on a ladder. Put this in the mark that I had set previously. That in like that. Make sure it's. I gotta go. Right about there. Yeah. Yeah. Not perfect, but it's close enough. And that gives me the lip there that I can go up against when I nail in the outside sheathing. Well, I got my supports there. The next thing I gotta do is put up some house wrap. To make this easier, I have cut it into two because it's kind of a pain to deal with. Also, this side not as easy to get a ladder up to, and this is more than a little bit sketchy. Please don't fall, please don't fall. All right. Okay. So the first thing, a little bit of this stuff I don't need. Cut that off and get that out of my way. Great. Okay, now a little bit of a breeze in back of me, which conveniently is holding it out of my way. For a moment. That was not the case on the other side. Boy. got a little lip here. And get it in there. Air-powered stapler would be a better idea, but I have one actually. It's just missing pieces. I can get one down here or something. That'll do. Now, cut the rest of this. Remember, always have 3 points of contact when you're on a ladder. I don't at the moment. I am holding this building, so I guess close enough. All right. This looks like a super easy job. It's not actually. Now, I don't have my measuring tape, but pretty sure I went to 48. And I just need to, I'm sure these are probably the same measurements as the other side. Okay. Now, get down here without falling. See, my ladder is adjustable, so you can put up and down on these here. And what I did was I extended it fully on that side, but I went down one rung on this side so it'd be angled closer to the building. However, that's also squished me right up against the building as I try to get down. I should have gone to the other side. Well, live and learn. Ow. Okay, this should have been in my pocket the first time I went up here, but as I've learned, going up and down ladders is just part of building one of these things. Why do I have so many? Oh, here, because there's a window frame there. So if I'm right, yeah, 20. Oh, hey, wait a minute. That didn't go where it was supposed to go. Steady. Steady. I want it to go here. That brings it a little bit past. Ooh, don't like that. No, that's okay. Damn it. I did make it 48. No, it's not going to work. So bring it right to a point. Bring it right to a point. Oh yeah. A little bit of a screw up, but I think I'm okay because we'll just bring it right to a point. Go to 48 and 20 inches on that. We'll make it work. If not, we just chop off a little on the side. Okay, so we'll see how this part goes. On this back part, I'm going to be smart about this and hang this up before I get there. So I got to carry this up too. Hopefully this fits. Alrighty. Quite. Needs a little haircut right there, and it'll be perfect. Just a little haircut. Mark that. Right between there and about, actually there. There to there. Trim that a little bit, and it should be golden. Ow. One more time. Whatever this is, it's going to have to be good enough. I need to move on with my life. Ooh. Yeah, that's actually perfect. Okay. It's in there just nicely. Mm-hmm. Why are you giving me a hard time? Holy frig. Friggin' deer flies. I need a hammer. This identifies as a hammer. No, it doesn't. Crap. Alright, I'll just get the rest of it. I don't think that's ever going anywhere. Alright. Next piece. Okay, last piece of siding. And of course it's the worst highest piece. But shouldn't be too bad. little sketchy putting this on because I don't have anything to hold on to, but this is the highest point in this building too. Right there. Left-handed mode. Done. Another milestone complete. That's all of the sheathing, siding, whatever you want to call it on. I haven't obviously done any of the trim or anything like that, but it's what we call dried in at the moment. Looking at that roof, kind of sagging on the end, I obviously overestimated how much I need there. I might need to cut that off and trim that up later and decide what to do with the fascia boards. Should I just paint the boards? But I think I'm going to break down and spend the money, because I have to spend money on some good paint and stuff anyway. But I'm going to do the aluminum because they're all 2x6, so that's pretty standard size, I believe. And I'll just screw in the aluminum from the drip edge and kind of clean this up and the other side, and we'll see what the front looks like. Because the front is actually mostly covered by that ridge cap. Anyway, siding sheathing's done. I no longer need a tarp inside. The roof works great. It doesn't leak. It with a couple of big rainstorms, I came up and checked it, and it does wonderful. So we're in good shape. Well, it's time for the door. Finally. I don't actually have a doorknob either, but I'll figure out how to keep it shut. I don't have a good plan for this. It's a used door I bought. Pretty good door. The guy had this wood there, which I'm going to have to knock off before I put in, just before I put in, obviously. Keep it straight and whatnot. So it's a heavy door. I can't believe how heavy this thing is. Solid, well, it's steel door and steel over wood, I believe, maybe. It's an older one. But it's heavy, which is fine. So I backed up as close as I could to the door with the truck, the door on the tailgate. My wife is going to help me with this one. And the intent is to slide it over, slide it in, tip it up, see how that goes. I got to put some silicone on it, obviously, but I'm not going to do that yet until I test this, just in case possible I screwed up on the measurements. I don't think I did. I should actually just measure that quickly before I do anything. Make sure that I didn't, make sure this is going to be big enough. Why don't I do that? 82 3/4 plus, for some reason, there's some silicone stuff here, which I'll have to peel off. 82 3/4. And the frame, 33 3/4. 34 3/4, so no problem there. And I got 83 to the top. Why do I need 83 3/4? Uh-oh. I think I'm in trouble. Said 83 to the top. Oh no, 82 3/4. Oh yeah, good. I got enough. And the brick mold and everything's already built into it, or whatever you want to call that trim on the side. This shouldn't be too bad. Good. Managed to get the door in after a couple of tries. A little bit of shaving. Nothing here is perfect, and the door is old, but it seemed to work out. So what I don't have are shims. Something I forgot to get. The door is pretty level and straight right now. So I think what I'm going to do for now is pop a couple of screws in the outside here. I'm not going to screw it in the sides here right yet because I need shims to do that, but just to kind of secure it for now. Keep the rain out so I can keep the door shut. The other thing I don't have is a doorknob. That's okay. I'll get one of those ordered. It's going to be a like an electronic combination one, so that in case somebody's coming to stay, I can just give them the combination. And obviously I've got to put in some silicone and things of that nature, all that type of stuff. But for now, this will keep at least the critters out. And I'll have to figure out a way to keep the door shut without a doorknob. Maybe a piece of wood or something stuck in there, I'm not sure. There's no striker, so people I bought the door from get the striker. Shuts well. Wind will blow that open though. So I wonder. Bungee cord? They're all the way over there. What do I have around here? Nothing. Bungee cord it is. I'll have to go get one. I have found my doorknob. A bungee cord. putting holes in my new siding, but gotta be. Now, problem. Okay. I guess I can. I should have got a better bungee cord than that. Oh, crap. Well. I'll go find another one. Okay, I found something better. Anyway, before I do close it up for right now, because it's going to be a while. Next video is going to be windows. But I'll show you what it's like in here. A little dark. It's not too bad, but hard to tell from this camera angle, but you can see gables are full. So it looks like towards the door. There's a great big cathedral ceiling. And the idea being that eventually this will be a loft on this half. That would include that window. And this will be open to the top. Little counter over here. That's a window there. Stairs obviously going to be right around there. Big window for the back. And we've got a couch bed thing. Couch that turns into a bed that goes there. And yeah, a couple other things. I mean, it'll be insulated and some lights in it, a solar panel to run the lights and a couple of things. And nothing too serious, but yeah, I'm happy with it. So let's close up the door, as it were. What I have is I got these as like a sample, and they're stretchy, and then you just clip them on. They're not like a bungee cord, so should be better, I think. It's probably not going to be long enough. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. I will get something else. And there we have it. Pretty ghetto for a doorknob, but that'll do for now. I'm going to order one. Just a little progress on the cabin, camp, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot different with the door. It really kind of gives it a good sense of scale. It'll look a lot better once I get the windows in, which is the next project. Hopefully next weekend.